Palantir Technologies reported third quarter financial results that really impressed market investors. I have a chart here of Palantir's stock price since November 2nd when it introduced the earnings to the market, and you can see the stock price is up 27.6% in the previous 5 days. So did Palantir's stock price deserve to jump by 28% following the earnings? Were the earnings that good to deserve this kind of a premium? Well, that's what I'm going to answer in this video, looking at the company's third quarter results to answer if Palantir justified an increase of this big, or is the market overreacting to the news in Palantir's third quarter results.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
Of course, Palantir is one of the leading artificial intelligence companies in the world, and AI has been the most popular investing trend in 2023. According to Statista, the AI market is expected to grow to reach $740 billion in 2030. According to Next Move Strategy Consulting, that size is actually expected to increase to $1.85 trillion by 2030. So a wide range of estimates. Regardless, the estimates suggest that the size of the artificial intelligence market is going to reach around $1 trillion, and between now and then it's going to grow rapidly. Palantir is on the cusp of that technology and on the leading edge of that technology, and it's benefiting from that trend. So looking at the company's third quarter results, I have here a chart created by my colleagues at the Motley Fool. What we start to notice here is the company breaks down its revenue between two segments here, commercial and government. And up until this point, Palantir has done a great job of capturing government institutions as its clients, and the majority of its business is in this segment, 308 million in revenue in the most recent quarter. What I've been talking about with Palantir is I would like to see the company gain more traction with businesses, with enterprises, because the opportunity of that market is much larger than the opportunity with just governments, right? There's only a certain amount of governments in the world. There's a vastly greater number of businesses in the world. And that's what I saw in the most recent quarter with Palantir. Commercial revenue grew by 23% to reach 251 million. Commercial revenue grew almost twice as fast as government revenue. So right off the bat, great results from Palantir in gaining traction with commercial customers. Again, one thing to highlight about this was mostly this was from US commercial customers. The next leg of this growth will be for Palantir to demonstrate growth internationally with commercial customers. That will create another leg forward, another boost for Palantir. But as it is, a great step forward for Palantir, and one reason already to justify a stock price increase. Total revenue increased by 16.8%, and the cost of revenue increased by just 0.3% to 107.9 million. That's great to see. Revenue rising by more than double digits, but costs staying under control, demonstrating economies in scale, and another reason why investors should have been pleased with Palantir's latest quarter. And of course, with revenue rising and cost of revenue staying relatively flat, gross profit really increased by 21.6% to 450 million. You could see the gross profit growth of 21.6%, greater than the total revenue growth of 16.8%. I like to see that, demonstrating leverage in the business, growing revenue, keeping costs under control. One reason for sure for a stock price to increase. Interest income increased by 565% for Palantir to reach 36.9 million in the most recent quarter. Remember, Palantir has more than $3 billion of cash on the balance sheet, and since interest rates have increased by more than 500 basis points, Palantir can earn more in interest income by just putting that $3 billion in very safe short-term government bonds. And so that has caused this big boost in interest income, jumping to 36.9 million. I mentioned already that's a 500% increase for the company, and its interest rates are still high, and so Palantir will continue to earn this very elevated level of interest income going forward as long as interest rates remain high. Already, Palantir's stock price experienced a decrease when interest rates went up, right? Because investors are less willing to pay premium prices for growth stocks when interest rates are higher. So Palantir paid that price, and now Palantir is getting the benefit of higher interest rates by generating more interest income. So now it's getting the second order effect is that it's getting a benefit from higher interest rates. So when interest rates decrease next time, let's say they fall back to 2% or 1% from this higher level of 5%, Palantir's interest income will decrease, will most likely decrease, but then Palantir's stock price will get a boost most likely because investors are willing to pay higher price to earnings multiples when interest rates are lower. And so it's got that two-pronged benefit. One, it's going to benefit from one side or the other regarding interest rates. So with all that increasing income, increasing gross profit, increasing interest income, operating income also increased to 40 million. Overall, the company generated strong net income of $73.4 million, and management said that it will be profitable again in the fourth quarter. Remember, this will be the first year where Palantir will generate profitability on the bottom line. Up until this point, for over a decade, Palantir had not generated net profit on the bottom line. So this is a milestone that Palantir has reached in achieving profitability on the bottom line. And you can see the reason why Palantir has been able to do that is that factor we talked about earlier in the video, which is growing revenue while keeping costs under control. Total operating expenses actually decreased by 5.1% to 410 million. Interest expense decreased by 31.4% to 742,000. The company has very little debt, and so this interest expense is minuscule in relation to its overall revenue. Sales and marketing expense decreased by 3.6% to 176.4 million. Again, many businesses grow revenue just by spending more money on sales and marketing, more advertising, more incentives, more promotions to generate that growth in revenue. In Palantir's most recent quarter, it generated nearly 17% revenue growth while decreasing spending on sales and marketing. Impressive, right? Growing revenue by and at the same time controlling costs and decreasing sales and marketing. But it's not sacrificing the long-term prospects of the business, investing in research and development, growing that by 4.8% to 105.7 million. I like to see this. If there's one area I like to see companies spend money on, that's in research and development. This is especially true if companies have demonstrated to me that they can create innovative products that generate significant sales. I want them to continue investing in research and development because they've proven that they can effectively invest in research and development. So I want you to do more of that. That's what creates differentiation. That's what creates products that you can sell at premium prices. That's what creates competitive advantage. Spending more money on incentives, promotions, and advertising doesn't usually generate competitive advantage unless you're really, really good at marketing. Then it might. But for the vast majority of businesses, you can't really create competitive advantage by spending more money on marketing. And finally, general and administrative expenses also decreasing by 13.8% to 128 million. So you can see here that story, Palantir growing revenue in the right place with commercial revenue outpacing government revenue, keeping costs under control, decreasing costs in some areas while maintaining investment in research and development. All around an excellent quarter from Palantir Technologies. And so to answer the question, did Palantir's stock deserve to go up by 28% after these earnings results? I don't know if they deserve to go up by 28%. That's a rather precise number. But I will say that yes, Palantir's stock price deserved to increase following an incredible quarter like the one they just put in. So yes, they deserve the stock price increase, Whether it should have been 10% or 20% or 28%, that remains to be seen. Going into the quarter, I already thought Palantir's stock price was rich, was kind of expensive. I still think Palantir's stock price is expensive, but the company is delivering excellent results. And so it's understandable that investors are willing to pay a premium price for Palantir stock. So yes, I think a stock price increase was justified. But before I let you go, if you've gained any value from this video, which you probably have if you made it this far, please subscribe to the channel. It'll really help me make more videos just like this one. Thank you again so much for watching.